Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Healing in Heels. It's me, psychic medium Daniel Monroe, and oh no, Mama Kori is muted. Hold on. There we go. Maybe Kori.
Can you hear me?
Oh, that's right. We're good. Can you hear her? Yay. Okay, we're good.
That's like putting me in the corner. Nobody puts me in the corner.
We do have Kori's corner where you get the best advice, but no, we don't mute Mama Kori. That's rude and hurtful. Anyways, welcome back to Healing in Heels. I'm psychic medium Daniel Monroe, and this is the lovely
Mama Kori,
who's not muted. Alrighty, you guys, come on in and make sure you say hello and where you are from. Tonight, we're talking about intuition versus fear. And I want you to know this isn't just spiritual. There's actual science behind why intuition feels calm and fear feels loud. But before we get into all of that, we always love to hear from you guys. What is a moment that you should have listened to your gut instinct or should have listened to your intuition that later on you were like, oh snap, I should have listened to that gut instinct. I should have listened to my spirit guides, my psychic signal, my psychic Wi-Fi, my best friend. But truly, what have you guys went through in your life? What is a story? And we'll talk about it and how to help you navigate the next time you have a situation and how to listen to your intuition. Mama Kori, you have many, many moons on me.
Yeah.
Many moons. A few moons. And what is one, I'm sure you have several, but what is one that you to this day kind of haunts you? You know what? I should have really listened to that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I call it my little voice. Oh, wow.
Where to start? Where to begin? What chapter? What era? What era?
Yeah, man, you caught me on that because there's a lot.
Yeah, there's some recently, there's some today. I know, for me, one of the things that I should have listened to my gut, which, I also have a lot of moments where I was like, oh, snap. But one of them actually was recently about moving offices, right? And should I renew and should I this and should I that? And I honestly didn't listen to my gut when I first moved into Portland. Now, my partner, Jared, has always wanted me to go into Portland, Oregon, right? Not that I love shopping in Portland, Oregon, no tax, we're here for it. However, I truly didn't listen to my gut and I kept trying. And this, I kept trying and trying to make Portland fit. And I was there for a year. And don't get me wrong, it was great. I met some amazing people. I held a lot of people's emotions and classes and growth and all of that in this space for a year. And in my heart and in my gut, I kept, and even in your gut, again,
my gut was on fire.
It was no. And we tried it for years, going there. And one day or 1 year, we just, pulled the trigger and we just did it. And I was going to renew. I was going to do, something else in Portland. And then we got the kids. And that was the final intuitive, okay, look, I got to get out of this lease, which ironically had expired anyways.
Yeah, you had to move.
Yeah, I had to move. But in my gut that whole time, I was just wasting money, wasting the drive. And, I got a couple of bad reviews because I got stuck in Portland traffic, which is crazy. And they, my clients were expecting me to get out and throw a car over the bridge to get to them.
Like in the movie, you're supposed to run on top of all the cars.
And, I'm supposed to just turn into the Incredibles.
What is that, the Matrix?
Oh, yeah, where I just dodge bullets. Yeah, they wanted me to do all of that and Spider-Man my way into the office for a Zoom appointment. But, I digress. But no, it's true. I went against my gut. There was nothing but, there wasn't problems, but it was nothing but just exhaustion. And then now that I have less sleep, isn't this wild? Now that I have less sleep, I have more energy, and it's because it's worth it. And also I don't have that commute between, the bridge here and the bridge into Portland. And my kids, I'm closer to them. I get to come home a lot sooner and I get to work on other things. And so it truly
don't feel as trapped either.
Yeah. And it's truly about listening to your intuition. But the fear part of that was, am I making a mistake? That was, even to this day, that fear, that tiny voice will creep in and I will question, like, did I give up something? But it doesn't feel that way. The fear will come in and we'll talk about how to decipher the two. And this is how I actually, pulled the trigger of like letting go of my office and not, fighting for it or trying to make it work, and why I'm back over here in Vancouver. And it truly is about learning the difference between the intuition and not the overpowering mind. And we're going to talk about that tonight. So let us know in the comments, like, what is the moment that you should have listened to your gut that kind of haunts you to this day? Thank God I listened to it. It took me a while. It took me a while to get there, but I eventually got back into, that intuitive.
Well, don't you think too, because let's go back to the fear part. I think you needed to do it because there was always going to be that regret. You feared that you would regret it.
Yeah.
Because, that was always on the checklist to have an office in Portland. And, and that was, Portland was a different city 5 years ago.
Right.
And so you needed it. You needed to check it either on your list or off your list, but
Yeah.
it had to move somewhere.
Yeah.
And you did it. You're done.
Yeah. And my gut instinct, because again, it's all about intuition tonight, you guys. So let us know in the comments. Good evening, Sue. Hello, Whitney. Come on in and say hello and where you're from. But your intuition isn't imaginary. It's biological, it's emotional, and it's spiritual. So intuition is actually the energy that your soul is picking up on that your brain hasn't had time to overanalyze. So Mama Kori, you have some great, amazing, great nieces and great nephews. Have you seen Inside Out #2 yet?
I've only seen one, and I'm still touched by that because my little niece, she's my little grandniece, and I adore her. And she was, going through that stage between turning from 2 to 3, and she looked at her mom and she goes, "Mom, I just don't want to be blue."
Aw.
So what do? They name her new baby brother Blue. I
Now,
don't know. That just came to my head. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man, that's gonna mess that girl up.
now he gets to be blue.
Yeah,
But
it means a lot. That little show means a lot.
yeah, and it's all about anxiety isn't actually bad. It's a survival response. So I know, like in the movie, the anxiety emotion or character was all about protecting. It was all about guarding something and protecting something, even if it was a good thing. Sometimes our mind kicks in and we have that anxiety that wants to protect something. And it might be protecting our heart. It might be protecting our spirit. It might be protecting our craft or our money or whatever the case may be. But that movie, it is a really great movie. It teaches you like anxiety is not bad, but anxiety is not intuition. That's the thing I want you guys to remember. Your anxiety is not your intuition, and it's not your mainstream for intuition. And we all know the lovely, lovely TikTok. I'm addicted to TikTok. Mama Kori's addicted to Reels / some TikToks. But
Tick reels.
there are a couple of like trends and stuff is like, is it intuition or anxiety? And people are actually confusing nervous system activations with spiritual guidance. So let us know in the comments below. Again, what in your life have you guys ignored your intuition and went with the fear? And is that you didn't, leave a relationship when you should have? I know I've been there. I talked about that last week. Or we talk about it, every other day.
On the way over here.
Yeah, we talked about it while making coffee. We talked about it on the way here. But it truly is about knowing and reframing and knowing the difference between what is fear and what is true intuition. What is your moment, Kori?
Well, I'll tell you, because we had talked about this a while back ago, is airports.
Oh my goodness. Kori and I are traveling separately this weekend, which we rarely do, or we rarely like to do.
Right. And a lot of people, they'll mistake fear for intuition and not even get on a plane.
I've almost done that multiple times.
I can give you the breakdown why you're afraid to get on planes if anybody wants to hear it.
Why?
Well, no, just remember me telling you, and when you got on the plane, hey, our subconscious mind sticks to fearful things. thinking, we're going to hold on to it. So when you go to an airport, the first thing you do is you go to a terminal. So our subconscious mind, terminal, bad. And then you get there and you are going to your departed flight. Where flights depart. That we
Triggering.
Yeah, unless you're a medium, departed.
Not a great thing.
Right. And then when you get on the plane, they teach you what to do when you crash.
Yeah, that's
So
true. They
those
walk
are
you
all
through.
subconscious, and those are all fears. And people will be like, something's telling me not to get on that plane. Something's just, and a lot of times you have to look at it. I had a fear of flight. I would sweat when I would get on a plane, just buying the ticket. But I made myself go and look at the airport and watch how many people come and go and they're living adventurous lives that I'm missing out on.
That you could have held yourself back from.
Right. And then I had to say, look at that plane instead of, oh, there's a bunch of people crying on that plane. I went, there's people that are so excited, haven't seen their family in a long time. There's people that get to see grandbabies for the first time. There's people that get to see their grandmother maybe for the last time. But they have those special moments because they took a chance and they got on the plane. And the thing that you have to remember is put your thoughts in the right path, and remember that pilot wants to get there too.
The whole crew wants to get
Pilot
home.
and the crew, they have families, they have homes, and they do everything they can to keep you safe. And if you start thinking on that, then it's going to make it easier for you to get on a plane or to do something like that, transportation,
Yeah.
trains, planes. And I say that like intuition doesn't just keep playing. Anxiety plays in your head. Intuition doesn't.
Yep.
It comes, you visit it, it goes. And then it'll come if it needs a, hello, but it's not ruminating thoughts.
Right. And it truly is about, again, quieting that fear, quieting the triggers, quieting the doubt that's going to hold you back. I know for me, you had to talk me through getting on a flight that would have held me back. Right quick, am I pixelated on the actual stream? Somebody just sent me a screenshot and I look super pixelated. So if anybody can comment down below if you're watching this, if I'm pixelated. Mama Kori looks great. But if I'm pixelated, would you guys let us know in the comments? That would be amazing. But no, it's true. Like if you tell yourself and listen to the fear and not to your actual intuition, Ryan, I sent you a little pic. I forwarded you that picture, love. And if you hold yourself back, you miss out on so many opportunities or even stepping stones or milestones or amazing memories. And that's something that you should never take away from yourself because you are destined for something more than just that not even rational internal processing that is holding you back. Oh yes, bought the truck and shouldn't have. All LOL. Also not picking a job. And I'm glad I didn't because I made a great career change. Look at that. So following your intuition. Sue said, yes, you are. Kori looks great. I don't know how to
Sue.
fix
I can't
that,
see the
right?
comments, but thanks, Sue.
Yeah. So let us know down below if Wi-Fi. Ooh, hold on. I wonder if I might end up messing this up, Ryan. Bear with me, you guys. Hold on one second. Um, let me. I wonder if that's gonna fix it. Let's see. We're doing a different angle right quick. Ryan's probably like, Daniel, stop pressing stuff. Hold on.
It's when I start pressing stuff, you're in trouble.
Okay, let's see if that fixes it. Hopefully that will fix it. But yeah, let us know in the comments down below if you have ever had a moment that you should have listened to your intuition or listened to your gut instinct. Is that better, you guys? Let us know in the comments. I think maybe I fixed it. I think I fixed it.
I think I have that the strongest with business.
Yeah.
I can have a client that I'm talking to, whether it's my dog, my hypnosis, this, and I can usually within a few minutes, I'll get that oh my gosh, this is great, just jump in. Or I'll get, hey, maybe, pump the brakes a little bit. And every once in a while, I'll get, hit the brakes, bail.
Yeah. Run.
Run. But yeah, I believe it really comes out. And then when I very first meet people, I'll get a beat on them. And then it kind of goes away, because then a lot of times your mind is like, well, this, that, because I always want to give everybody a chance and be optimistic, and that gets me.
Yeah. That's a whole other episode. Not about intuition, honey. We ain't got the time on that one. But let us know in the comments down below if I fixed it, if I'm still as pixelated or not pixelated. I think I might have fixed it. I'm not too sure. But anyway, so come on in, let us know. Hello, Laura. Let us know where you guys are from. We're nosy. Let's have some fun tonight. Let us know where you're at. Hopefully you're not in the middle of some type of snowstorm or grocery shortage situation. But come on in and say hello and let us know where you're from. But tonight we're talking all about intuition versus fear. And the nervous system is so much different than your actual intuition. Fear comes from the amygdala, all right? The brain's alarm system, designed to detect danger, reacts fast, emotionally, urgently. But intuition comes from the prefrontal cortex and your vagus nerve. Now, that's responsible for clarity, awareness, regulation, works best when the body feels safe. And that's the thing. Our fear comes in and it wants to make us safe, but our intuition cannot actually come through. And so what ends up happening is we mistake our fear as the intuition because our body is not feeling safe, it's not calm. And then we go and react off of our fear and not off of our true intuition. And it works best, again, when your body feels safe. And I have this like hair on me, you guys. Tonight is a wild night.
Why
I know. Fear is fast because it's trying to protect you. Intuition is calm because it already sees the truth. So the reason why fear will feel urgent, there's true science behind it that fear activates fight, flight, or freeze. And it's an adrenaline and it's your cortisol starting to rise. And this creates the racing thoughts. It creates your worst case scenario. I know this is what happens with me. And it's the pressure to decide right now, should I get on that plane? Should I break up with him? Should I text him? Should I leave this job? Should I look for a new job? Instead of just pausing and taking a deep breath. The urgency is a stress response. So whenever you have a feeling coming in, really ask yourself, does this feel urgent? Does it feel like I need to get it done now? Does it feel like I need to decide now? Because the urgency is a stress response, not a spiritual message. So always remember that when you have things coming in, does it feel urgent? Does it feel loud? Does it feel like obnoxious? Or does it feel calm but strong? Does it feel subtle but firm? That's true intuition. When your body is calm, you can actually allow your intuition to flow in. And the reason why intuition comes through the body first is the body actually processes information faster than our mind. The gut brain connection, so you have your enteric nervous system, right? Your internal, it's often called the second brain. It actually sends signals before your conscious thought can keep up. So it sends it so quickly. And it's why the intuition aspect or the intuition energy will feel a lot more like knowing. It will feel like a pull and it will feel very calm, yes or no, without explanation, without doubt, without worry, without that internal loudness. So really sit with that for a minute, you guys, and look back at buying that truck or switching the job situation. Let us know in the comment below. Has your choices and decisions been made off of internal thoughts that come in that are very hectic, that are very panicky? Did they feel like, oh my gosh, I have to rip it off like a Band-Aid right now? literally, I want you guys to think on that.
Well, think of a stress moment. I mean, if you've ever, my husband watches disaster TV.
Mhm.
Why I didn't like to get on a plane for a long time. Anyway, I've watched these interviews. I'm all about the personal part of it. And you always will hear somebody, I don't know why I did this, but I just went in there and ripped that lid off that tractor and freed, Billy.
First off, that accent.
Well, I'm sorry, lots happens in the South. And but it was instinct. And they just went in, and people will be like, I don't know what happened, but I actually watched an interview with a guy that was with his daughter in Walmart. And he noticed this lady was by herself and watching the little girl. And his instinct, he goes, my instinct was to step in front of my daughter and keep her away from her. And the lady tried to kidnap his daughter. That was instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she started making a scene and screaming, saying that he was taking her daughter.
Mm,
And he's like, there's cameras. He's like, and then that lady took off, and a man met her at the door, and they took off. So that's instinct.
yeah.
Smart too.
Yeah. So intuition
Mhm.
versus fear. So notice how he was able to react, not question it, not be like, wow, that's a crazy thought or blah, blah, blah. It was true intuition. And thank God he did.
And people don't think women will do that.
Yeah.
They always think it's going to be a creepy guy.
Yeah.
He was waiting outside.
So your body receives the messages before your mind writes the story. So hello from Canada. Ontario was already had our snowstorm in December. It was so bad. Well, I'm glad that you don't have it now. Hello, Sue. Come on in. Make sure you guys say hello, where you're from. Make sure you guys start tagging people down below. And we're just asking and checking in with you guys about what choices and decisions have you made that has really impacted your life or stuck with you that you knew should have been intuition and not made out of fear. So what choices have you made that you look back on and going, you know what, I should have listened to my intuition. I should have trusted my gut instinct.
Or even look back and went, you know what? I said that was going to happen, because I did that.
Yeah.
I was in the horse business for years, and I said, you know what? If this doesn't pan out, I'll probably be a dog groomer. And so I found myself, I was like 25, and I'm like, I'm going to have to try something, because I've been doing this since I've been 16. And I moved in with my mom. I changed my life. It was scary. I gave myself a year, and I walked into a pet store just because I work with animals to get a job. And the long story short, they trained me to be a dog groomer.
Oh, wow.
And I thought about it. I went, I can remember that I told myself, if I don't do this, I'm going to do this. And that's what happened.
So there is the trauma, stress, and a reason why intuition will get blurred. Trauma actually keeps the nervous system in hypervigilance. And that means it's scanning for danger constantly. So when we're in that mind frame, we are constantly looking for the bad thing to happen, the worst case scenario. And in this state, there's so much fear, and the fear will feel logical, and intuition will start to feel more and more distant from you. And overthinking feels necessary. That becomes your reality, is when you're panicking and overthinking. So really start to reframe. If you struggle to hear your intuition, it doesn't mean that you're blocked. It doesn't mean that you are not intuitive or not connected or don't have a spirit guide. It means your system has learned to survive. And you really have to start taking a step back from that, because how spirit communicates is through regulation. It communicates through subtle emotional awareness, and it communicates through calm and clarity. It doesn't, again, it can't come through when our nervous system is so wonky. It's this clear vibration that comes in. And when our nervous system is already so staticky and up and down and wonky and so unstable, that clear line of intuition can't come through and match and be able to slide into our nervous system or into our energy for us to be able to listen to that intuition. I love to purchase a house, but my gut says no. Well, then listen to your gut, Whitney. If your gut is saying no, then it's not the time. And it might not be the house. It might not be the location. It might not be the neighborhood, the HOA. It really just depends on what's happening. So it doesn't necessarily mean now is not the time or you'll never have it. It just means right now is not the moment, or that location might not be it for you. So always remember that.
Don't close the door.
Yeah, or don't. And we're not saying with intuition, like you always have to be like, you know what? On to the next, you know what? My gut says no, let's walk away. You can sit with it. Again, that is reacting out of fear and reacting so quickly instead of being calm and processing it and having that moment. So, spirit is not coming through, and your spirit guides are not communicating with you through panic or shame or threats or pressure. That's one of the things that I've noticed in my career for years. Oh my goodness, spirit came through and told me that I need to lose weight because I'm getting huge. And it's like, that's not really spirit. That really is your own internal processing. Spirit will come through saying, hey, we need to be a little bit more healthier. Let's get more energy. Let's get more motivated. How can we implement that? That's intuition. Not you're a fat cow, put down the, pretzel. That's not spirit. That's not your intuition. That's not your spirit guides. That's your own internal processing that is hectic and loud and aggressive. Again, spirit communicates calmly and clear and also strong and powerful.
And simple.
Yeah.
Spirit's not complicated. It's not like a long conversation. And if you don't do this and you don't do this, it's going to happen and this and that. It's simple. It's that knowing, that word that I feel good about this.
Yeah. So what questions or situations have you guys had? Sue said much better. Thank you, my love. So come on in, make sure you say hello, where you're from, make sure you're tagging people. I'm so sorry. I have to do this. This hair on my nose is killing me, and I've been slowly trying to get it off of me. And do you need to borrow this too, Kori? I don't know where this tiny little hair is, but I feel
Is
it.
it connected? Is it moving?
No.
Do I need to come with my clippers?
Maybe. Oh no. Oh no, I put it back on me. Oh my gosh, this is a great blooper. You're welcome, right? You guys, this hair. I had it off of me and then I just got it back on. Now they're gonna think that I'm in the middle of selling something.
Well, gee, what kind of cosmetics is that, Daniel? What are you using?
Yeah. For $9.99, you guys. You too. I'm just joking. Oh my gosh. I had it off, but then I think I put it back on.
You're just making my nose itch.
It's making me itch. Oh my goodness.
Anybody
Okay.
else's nose itching?
Literally, now I'm all like itchy. Do you need
like
this?
we're ready to fight somebody.
I think I got off. Do you need it? Didn't you have a hair too?
No, I don't need it.
Oh my gosh. It was like
I'm
killing me.
experienced.
No, I couldn't. I kept trying to get it off me. Anywho, it's back. Oh, is it on my microphone? Hold on.
Is your microphone tickling you?
Something is. Hold on. This is so hot. You guys are so welcome. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Ryan's like, I have never in my days seen this.
Do I need to get tweezers and plug one
It's on my lip. Hold on. Oh my, yeah. It was killing me. Oh my goodness. Stop. Don't itch because you're going to make me itch.
Oh, okay. What? That's like telling somebody, my kid came home with lice today, and you're automatically going like this.
It's still on my lip. Kori.
What were you doing before we got here?
I was cuddling with the dogs, actually.
Oh, well, I happen to know a really good dog groomer. Her name is Kelly.
Yeah, shout out to Kelly, who the dogs need to go to.
Yeah.
This is, you know what, Ryan, we're going to have to end early. I'm just joking. Ryan's like, what the heck? I think I got it. Lip gloss and Pomeranians are not a thing. They're not a good combo. Anywho, so what moment?
Yeah, he was panning. He had an intuition that there was a dog hair on his face.
Yeah, I intuited it. I felt it.
I really felt it.
I really, really, really felt it. So there truly are moments in life, though, where we have to pause and pivot and always remember not to make quick decisions. Now, I'm an Aries with an bitch rising. Kori and I have a joke because we don't get too into astrology. We like it, but we don't. And you know how people are like, oh, I'm an Aries with a Capricorn rising. We always
I'm in the
just,
summer of Aquarius and a fall of, and I'm like,
yeah. Which we're all about astrology. We're just
I
not.
wish I knew more. I wish I could remember it all.
That's true.
I just don't remember it. I respect it, but I
Yeah.
forget.
But we have the joke of like, oh, I'm an Aries with a bitch rising.
Yes.
Because we don't know what our rising star is.
Mhm.
And James and I were talking about that the other day, and he's like, oh, so and so's house is in blah blah blah. And I was like, I'm in my house. Like I don't know what house, but
You know what my house is?
what?
In disarray.
Oh, no. So we do have to like take a moment and think about, again, pausing and pivoting and not reacting, so that way we have enough time. Because listen, when I get bad news, I'm not like, let me collect my energy and sit with it and respond like Gandhi. No, a lot of times I'm like, girl, bitch, please, like this is not it. This is not the time. And am very mad or angry or what?
Get real. Get
What?
real, Daniel. You call me.
Yeah, I call Kori. Well, that's who I'm talking to, bitch.
I
Get
thought you were
lovely.
getting
Oh,
into
no.
the situation.
No, not with God.
What's that part I call Kori?
Yeah. So I first call Kori and then I go, bitch, guess what? But I will, because, you know, I'm an Aries.
Yeah.
And no, I'm
And
Hispanic.
luckily, I'm Aquarius, so I care.
I don't even know if that's
I'm
accurate.
in the house of Care Bear.
Kori's rising as a Care Bear.
Yeah.
But it's really true that I'm very quick to react, and most humans are very quick to react. Or I'll call Ryan and I'm gonna go, this is exhausting. I'm exhausted. And but it's true, like you have to take a moment and really process the emotion and the energy to be able to truly allow your intuition to flow.
True, true.
You don't have a story?
Well, my intuition's always flowing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets me in trouble. No, but it's, you've got to listen to it though. I mean, it'll save you. And there's been honestly times in my life that I don't know how I got out of things. And it was just, you always go, oh, the grace of God. Well, the grace of, yeah, him too. But
Your dear friend Jesus.
yes. Me and Jesus when we were kids, he was such a good boy. And so
Did you
wise.
babysit Jesus?
No, he was wise. He was the good one. We're the same age.
Okay.
When me, Jesus, and Kathy Hilton hung out.
Oh, Kathy Hilton.
I love Kathy Hilton, if anybody knows her.
You let Kori know.
Yes.
No, but it's true that we have an internal antenna to energy. Because again, intuition is energy. And how it actually works for a psychic doing a psychic reading is the psychic tunes into the person's aura. All right. This is I'm going to give you guys a pro tip. So if you're intuitive, you're a psychic, you're a intuitive healer, whatever the case may be, use your client's aura. All right. Use that. That is the key to tap in, because when we have, like Whitney said earlier, she's wanting to buy a house. So when we have the thought of wanting to buy a house, we then start actually having energy being put out into the universe. And then what ends up happening is when we start manifesting that or putting it out there, energetically, the answers are already starting to come our way, being pulled our way. So let's say I'm thinking about buying a house. So energetically, I'm putting that out into the universe. And then let's say the universe is saying, nah, now's not the time. Energetically, it can start coming back, or it does start coming back. And we start feeling that in our gut. All right, in our solar plexus, because I'm going to teach you guys something right quick. I'm teaching you guys a lot tonight. Your solar plexus is right above your belly button. So everybody put your hands on your belly button. And your belly button is the closest, your solar plexus, right, is the closest thing to your soul. Now listen to the verbiage, solar plexus. It is the closest thing to your soul, solar plexus. So when you start feeling it in your gut, in your solar plexus, that is your soul telling you, no, this is not the right guy. This is not the right job. This is not the right house, because your soul is energy. The intuition that you put out into the world, that energy you put out into the world is now coming back, and your soul is listening to it before your mind starts telling you, but it's a really good deal. We should do it. No, listen to that solar plexus. Listen to that gut instinct, because it's your intuition. And so again, if you're a psychic, or you're an intuitive, or a Reiki intuitive, or you're just reading anybody in general, tap into your client's aura, because that aura already has the answers to what they're manifesting or attracting or not attracting, or that the universe is pulling away or are separating certain things from your client. So when you go in to do a reading, connect in, link in from your solar plexus to your client's solar plexus, so you can then tap into their aura and start to feel and intuit what is energetically being pulled their way. That's how a true psychic reading works. You're welcome. Masterclass with Daniel Monroe.
Well, do you find, Daniel, in your readings that let's say Becky is wanting to buy
With a good hair?
with good hair.
Becky with a good hair.
She's wanting to buy a house. We'll
Okay.
just use a house because that's a big purchase.
Yeah.
And I have my whole theory on that. But maybe there's two things that are blocking it. It's not necessarily that it's a bad idea. It's just she needs to clean up these two things.
Yeah.
Usually it's credit, but I digress.
Listen to your accountant.
Yeah. But, maybe Becky needs to make sure she cuts out on her, $6 coffees every day, and to be able to afford this house, to make
Mhm.
those payments. When I bought my house, I talked to my oldest sister, Kim, who's, to me, she's the wise one. And I'm like, I'm really freaking out because I think I'm going to get this house. We had a couple little roadblocks, but I had it in my head I was going to have a house by the time I was 30. I was 32. I felt I was behind the game.
Mm.
So anyway, she's like, Kori, I'm going to tell you this. I don't care. Get the house. They quit making land.
Right.
They make houses, but they don't make land anymore.
Right.
This is what it is. She says, and you will always make your rent, your mortgage payment. She says, if you get in there and it's a little hard, you're going to work a little harder, but you're always going to make that mortgage payment. And in 5 years, you've already done equity. You already have money coming back, and that house is making you money if you have to get out of it. An apartment is only going to take it, and people rule your life. So from there on, I was like, I'll only own it. Sure, I've taken a couple hits here and there, as far as we've had to put on a fence or this or that, but it's in the long run, again, makes my house worth more money.
Mhm.
A house is the biggest thing that you're going to purchase.
So what was the question with Becky with the good hair?
Good hair, don't set yourself up. Don't just make, because one little thing didn't go right, and don't give in to the fear.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give in to the fear, because it's such a huge it's a huge thing to
Yeah.
have. Getting into a mortgage is one of the most stressful things, right next to marriage and babies.
Right. Well, and that's the thing about like intuition and energy. And again, as like a psychic reader, what I find is there is door 1 and door 2. There's nothing's ever set in stone. And if you go to a reader, honey, and they tell you like this is the only, lay of the land, don't work with that intuitive, don't work with that psychic, because the reality of it is you have free will. And so an intuitive's job isn't to tell you how to live your life or how to run your life or what you need to do at the 4th day, the 4th hour. What a good intuitive should do is, again, tap into that person's energy and feel out, again, Becky with the good hair, if she's wanting to buy a house, okay, is there door 1 is like, no, now's not the right time, but you know what? She really needs to do X, Y, and Z. Then door 2 is, okay, we can either door 1, walk away, not do it right now. That's door one. Or door two is you have to do X, Y, and Z. It's going to be a little bit of work, but I do feel like you can put, your feet into it and really just hit the ground running and be able to accomplish that. That's absolutely. There's always some sort of energetic delay or energetic reasoning or energetic answer to something. And it truly is about listening to your gut. And it truly is about knowing if it's the panic voice or if it's the, hey, you know what? Now's not the right time. We had a situation, when we were going through before, we ended up adopting the boys. And there were certain moments of, that direction that we were like heading down where it was like, intuition was just flashing and flashing and flashing. But my heart wanted it so bad that I kept ignoring it to where, thank God, this scenario ended up happening instead to where I was able to adopt the boys. And looking back on it, I did ignore the intuition. I did ignore it. But you know what? I could have made it work. It would have been hell, and it could have paid off in a different way, but and I still would have loved it. Don't get me wrong. However, it wouldn't have been what my soul fully wanted. And thank God the intuition was there. And thank God interfered or spirit interfered. Cause that's the other thing too. Spirit will interfere, not all the time. Cause again, you got free will, but that prolonged the situation to where I was able to then adopt the boys instead of having, all of this chaos at one time.
And
So
plus you had it out in that universe so strong that your body, your mind, your soul, your
was
vibe, your
set.
tap, your everything was you wanted to be a parent
Yeah.
or a mom.
Or a mother. Now I'm a mother to one and a parent to one.
Please tell that story.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So let us know in the comments. We're going to start doing readings. Make sure you guys are tagging people. Do the little ad sign. You know what to do, honey. But so we adopted the boys, and on one birth certificate, it put parent, and, it has me and my partners. And then on David's, they messed up and put mother, father. And ironically, they put me as mama. And I make the joke like, oh my gosh, they probably like Googled and was like, nah, this is mother. This is a parent. And they put me and then my partner as father. So it was so funny. And so Kori is like, keep that certificate.
I
And
want it.
Kori, go ahead and tell them what you changed.
So Daniel has two phones. So on one of them is David's mother, David's mother, and the other one is Daniel Dash's parent.
That's how she knows.
That's
Which
how I know on
phone?
whose phone. Which phone?
Am I calling David's mother or Dash's parent? But truly, come on in and say hello, say where you are from. Also, right quick, we're going to use this little clip for later on, Ryan. So get ready to mark the time, honey. So healing and heals is actually something that is going to start shifting. And I sat down and I, created healing and heals for it to be obviously healing. And I wanted it to be based around, there's different walks of life and there's different forms of healing. And that's why I pick different topics and why we come on here and we talk about different things, every week. And one of the things that kept feeling like it was missing was more healing. And I was like, well, I can only pull cards, so much. And I can only, maybe I was like, we'll bring people in, phone calls and do readings that way. But last week we sat, and our great, lovely producer in the back, Ryan, who learned how to clock it. We talked about it and we talked about different avenues that we wanted to take the show and be able to connect with more people and get out into the community more and things like that. And something that has been, ingrained in me at such a young age was putting so much love towards people who don't see it. I grew up on a farm, I might have the makeup and the glitz and the glam, but the reality of it is hardworking individuals in the middle of, Yakult, Washington, where I grew up, wasn't always seen. And hardworking, parents or police officers or paramedics or nurses or even librarians or hairstylists, those women and men work hard.
Yes.
They work so hard. And something that has always been true to me is my work ethic. And, not a lot of people know what I do behind the scenes. You guys see what I do publicly, but you guys don't know what I do behind the scenes. And that's something that a lot of people don't get to showcase. And a lot of people don't get to be acknowledged for. And so something that my team came up with and that Ryan, was talking about, like, hey, this is an idea, which is all about having our everyday heroes be acknowledged. So I want to take this moment and we can rally around people that we see everyday heroes. So if it's a realtor agent that really goes above and beyond and really changes people's lives and, always is donating and things like that. We want to know about them. Something that my godfather used to do, and this is actually why it spoke volumes to me when Ryan came up with this or, was talking about this. And I was like, there it is. Because again, my intuition told me this is it. This is the missing
You
link.
grabbed onto it.
My godfather used to do this. My godfather was in Vegas and he worked everywhere. He worked as installing cameras and installing, security systems all over Vegas and in all the hotels and casinos and such and museums and everything that they have there. But he would always pack 2 lunches. And one day I was like, I called him Pod because in Spanish it's padrino and madrina for godmother or godfather. And my godfather, Pod, I said, Pod, why do you take 2 lunches? You're so skinny, because he was, and he would have 2 sandwiches. He had like little mini party size Snickers and almond joys and things like that. So he would have 2 drinks, 2 sandwiches, two sweet things, 2 Cheez-Its, 2 of everything. And I asked him, I said, Pod, why do you do that? And he goes, well, because on my lunch break, I don't eat this. I go and find some homeless man. I go out of my way on my lunch, and he goes, well, it's Vegas. They're everywhere. And he says, I go and I give this to him because I don't want to give them money in case, I'm condoning to something that I don't want them to harm themselves with, but I want them to at least have food. So every lunch,
Mhm.
I take this extra sack of lunch and I go and I give it to people. I find a homeless man or woman and I give it to him. That is something we want to know about because that is something that I always looked up towards as a kid. My padrino taught me something so lovingly. And so that's why when Ryan suggested this, I said, that's it. That's what I want to do. So if you know somebody who goes out of their way, like my godfather did, or goes out of their way, like Kori does, or other individuals that I keep around me who go out of their way every single day to make a difference. Now, I'm not saying, oh, nominate just, anyone. You can, obviously. Me and my team will read them and we'll decide. And we've already gotten a good amount of nominees, but we want to know about the people who are making a difference because here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through the submission forms and we're going to contact this person to not only come on here, Healing and Heals. So we're switching it up, baby. We're going to have them come on here. We're going to somewhat interview them. We want to know their story. We want to know what fuels them to be able to do that. Just like with my godfather, what made him start doing it or why food and why did he go about it in such a way? I want to know those whys. And so I want to bring this person on, whoever you nominate. I want to bring them on here. And I also want to gift them a reading. So they'll get to come on. We'll get to love on them. They'll get to share their story. I'll get to ask my whys of what empowered them and inspired them. There's actually a few in the submissions of people who have their own construction company and they also have their own halfway house, and they always go out of their way for donation. And one of the because you have to like fill out the form, and one of the memories on their stories was she was late on her way to an interview and helped somebody and literally gave her like her favorite jacket or her interview jacket on her way into the interview. That's what I want to hear about. Those are the people I want to rally around and give love to and give the gift of spirit and messages. And if that's a psychic reading, a mediumship reading, whatever type of reading that comes through, I want to honor those people and I want to honor their healing and give them that love and that gift. So if you know somebody, if you know an everyday hero, then make sure you head to my website at mediumdanielmonroe.com, and under the Healing and Heals section, it will say submit a nominee or nominate a hero and fill out that form. All right.
It could be as simple, because we were talking about the other day, as waitress.
Yeah.
My mom was a bartender for years, and let me tell you, she was probably one of the givingest. She bought every little doodad, crocheted, anything to help people financially. And she would counsel my mom. She was kind of cool anyway. She would counsel these guys through their divorces, and when they were ready to get their divorce, they would give them her gold ring. When my mom passed away, she had like 8 gold rings.
Oh my gosh.
That's just a funny story, I think. But she was also somebody that helped people through their really bad times. I'd met with a waitress this last weekend, and Daniel had touched her, and in a, in a spiritual way. That sounded bad.
I couldn't keep a straight face. Brian, scrap that.
I caught it as it flew out of my mouth, but spiritually. Anyway, she's very happy about it.
So why we can't do nice things. So I met a waitress that I ended up reading, and it really impacted her. So go ahead and tell your story.
Yeah, no, and I was like, I called Daniel, and I was moved by her story, because she said, he really helped me a lot. I was really, really in a dark place. And I just thank you. And she said, she may be on tonight too. She said, I seen your Facebook Live. And she's like, I need to see them. I need them in my life. And then I showed up on Saturday morning out of the blue, and she's like, there you are. She was so happy. And I got to thinking, I'm like, she brightens people's day in that little restaurant.
Right.
I know there's probably little old men that come in there that wives have probably passed on, that she just makes their day.
And just sparkles.
Yeah, because she's so loving and caring.
Yeah.
And you can tell when they tell their stories, she actually listens to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even my like Barbara and Katie, who I, love to pieces, she's constantly loving on people and always there for people. And she gives haircuts to homeless, and to people who can afford it, and she goes and does that once a month. She goes out of her way, out of her busy schedule. And so it's things like that where it's like she lost her husband, she lost her sister, she lost a lot of like family members through like addiction and stuff, but she is loving on and sparkling her love on so many humans. And so that's the reason why we're shifting gears with Healing and Heals, because I heal people in a pair of heels. So we want to know, the different walks of lives and how other people are changing lives on a daily, and just by being them. Because people don't have to be nice. People don't have to be so bubbly.
What kind of shoes do they wear to heal?
Yeah. What are you wearing? Because, healing isn't just in heels. It comes in many different uniforms. So make sure you go to that website, nominate your everyday hero under the Healing and Heals page at the bottom. You can submit your nominations. So one of the things that we do want to say before we say goodnight is help other people identify when people call you, because I call Mama Kori a lot, and they're panicking and you can start looking in their conversations or their words. Are they coming from intuition or are they coming through fear?
Yeah.
Are you rushing into something because something inside of you is telling you it needs to be done now, or it's either now or never? And is it that you need to do that? Or do you need to actually take a moment and allow, again, your intuition to flow in? Do you need to pause and do you need to sit with it and to be able to fully hear? Or is it, tomorrow I'm doing X, Y, and Z and I got to get this done and we got to do that and we got to do this and we got to rush into it or run into it? Chances are that's not intuition. Chances are that's fear.
When you're pushing it, like we just touched on, your other decision of having there's nothing in this world I could have said to say stop.
Right.
Because your clock was ticking and you needed, luckily fate stepped in, but twice.
Yeah.
But so are you rushing into your intuition? Are you rushing your clock?
Right.
Are you panicking because you think it's time?
And because of fear, right?
Mhm.
I was like, I have to do it now. This is the only opportunity I'll ever have. I could have missed out. And again, by reacting to fear, I would not have been in the space to adopt my voice. And now I can't even envision that at all.
Not to get too deep in personal, also, you opened up your heart at a time that you were really going towards your other goal, and you opened your heart in your home and let that step in.
Yeah.
Because had you not done that, no telling
Right.
no telling what that story would have been.
Yeah. I wouldn't have my voice.
Right.
Or I would have them and it'd be chaotic and messy, and I'd probably have to walk away from mediumship full time, honestly.
Yeah.
I definitely would have if I had all of that at once. So truly listening to your intuition and listening to your gut and not the fear, because again, that's not helping anybody and it's not going to help you in the long run, and it's not going to bring you into a space that you need to be able to grow and learn. And again, you have soul contracts and you have things that you were sent here into the physical world to learn and accomplish. And when we, again, react from fear, we keep pushing that out and prolonging something and prolonging something and prolonging something. So it truly is important to pause. So that way your nervous system can take a breather. So that way it's not like this and you have this beautiful connection coming in and flowing. So that way you truly can have a moment for intuition to come in and help guide you. So always remember that. Always remember to pause. And it's okay to normalize fear, but don't empower it.
And sometimes talk to a calm person, a sounding board. Don't talk to somebody in the same panic level.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's just going to hype crazy up.
Right. That's like having two dogs at a gate. Just
so
like my house.
Yeah. So always ask yourself, like an internal, processing, does the decision feel rushed or does it feel settled? Does it tighten your body or does it soften it? So this is another good way. Or does it repeat anxiously or does it arrive once and stay? Like, you know what? No, this is it. Now, there's a difference between being hard-headed, like, no, I'm doing it, blah, blah, blah. Notice the difference in the energy. Like, you know what? This is what needs to be done.
It feels right.
And again, does your body feel relaxed into that? So redirect your body to awareness. So instead of being in here and, Kori and I call it cuckoo town. So instead of being in here and being reactive and being jumpy and being this and being that, really sit within, ask yourself, is this a decision and choice that I can live with? Now, I will say this. I learned this from watching Touched by an Angel. I love that show so much. I watched it as a kid. I was a sickly child, and I would lay in bed and just watch it. And one of the things that, it's now on Netflix, and I love this show so much, so I rewatch it. And you know, I might be gay and be a medium, but I still have a relationship with God. Clock it. Clock it. Or jazz hands. But something that they said is if you make a choice and decision with your heart, doesn't matter if it's wrong, right, or indifferent. If you make a choice and decision with your heart, that's a choice and decision you can live with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100% agree with that.
You might have to change it later, or you might have to pivot and you're in a new space in your life. But if you can make a choice and a decision with 100% heart, that's a choice and decision you can live with. So head check and heart check. All right. Head check. Yeah, he's cute, blah, blah, blah. But heart check it. Check your heart space. Okay, what does this feel like? Is it feeling like I need to do this? And then check your gut. So head check, heart check, gut check. Head check. Oh my God, he's so hot. Let's go for it. Blah, blah, blah. But your heart's like, you know what? I do have some, feelings here. I might have, some type of connection here. But then check your gut. Check your solar plexus. Again, your solar plexus is the closest to your soul. And what is that telling you? Does it tell you, like, you know what? Now's not the time. Now I need to take a step back. And if it does, there's nothing wrong with that.
And quietly sometimes listen to your friends. One of my things with my girlfriend Cheryl, when I was young, I had a bad boyfriend. And
Which time?
right. And he was going on vacation. I'll make it short. He was going on vacation, so he asked me to marry him before he went on vacation. So I was excited. I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, before he left, he asked me to marry him, and she just got quiet. And this is the most talkative person you'd ever meet in your life. And she got quiet, and I heard that silence. And I had to go, uh-oh, wait a minute. And I had to gut check myself, and I'm like, something's wrong. Well, he asked me to marry him so I wouldn't go out and party. He came home and it was business as usual.
Wow.
But I listened to her and I opened my eyes to it.
And how did it feel in your body?
Yeah, it was like, it was a traffic jam. It was bad.
Yeah.
But it really, so sometimes just that silence, because if she would have yapped at me, I wouldn't have listened. But when she was quiet, I was like, oh, okay. So sometimes listen to the quiet.
Listen to the quiet. Because again, in that quiet space is when your intuition can flow in. It's when it can truly flow in. Alrighty, you guys. So just to kind of wrap up and recap here, you're not broken. You're not disconnected. You're learning regulation and not intuition from scratch. So you're learning to regulate. You're not learning intuition from scratch. So share this with somebody who doubts themselves, because this conversation truly does matter. So that way we can all, especially with, what's going on in the world, can navigate out of love and out of intuition and not out of fear. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining me and Mama Kori tonight. And again, go and nominate your everyday hero and tag people in this and make sure you share it, because you guys, it's going to be so much fun. And I can't wait for you guys to see the next phase of the Healing in Heels. So
yeah.
Good night, everybody. Remember to always love yourself and to be yourself, and don't let anybody tell you different. Okay. All right. Good night, you guys.
Good night.
Mwah.